Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you that seems to be really adorable. There's jitters or nerve coming through, kind of like what you would feel on a first date where you feel pretty confident that it's going to go well. I feel like somebody's looking at a checklist, like maybe just in their mind, right? It's not necessarily written down, like, oh, yes, okay, we have good teeth, yes. Uh, but kind of shocked at how many things you have in common or how many things, you took off their list. Just seems like a really good match. And so I think there's just a lot of positive nerves going around. But let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime chime or a lot. Who cares? I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hello there, White Light. How are you doing? Let's dive in. I think we need actually right out the gate, we need some romance angel oracle because this has got some new love vibes for me. All right, so we have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. We have let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others. And we also have children. Your love life is being affected by children. All right. So basically, we've got a situation where there are feelings developing. There is maybe some advice being given or, listened to by people involved in the situation. There may even be somebody who helps you see things from a different perspective, especially if you're struggling with staying positive when dealing with the dating scene. And then with regards to the children card, it could be that um, you're maybe a little bit extra nervous because you have children. You don't want to expose them to anyone that isn't good for them. It could be that you bond over your parenting style or your desire to be child free or something along those lines, right? There's a pulling you together a little bit more closely in terms of how you view family. All right, let's grab a few cards from the Metamuse. Hi there, James. How are you doing? All right. 10 of Cups in the reverse. And we actually, so this is the Tree of Life. We don't have this in every deck. This is, as far as I know, unique to this deck, but it might be in a couple others. And indicates ascension or somebody who is moving on to the next big thing, right? New chapter, new you. But we don't read it in the upside down position. This is always seen in the upright according to the book that comes with this deck. And it's positioned next to the 10 of Cups in the reverse. So I feel like we have either, and possibly both, somebody who's leaving a physical destination or a physical location, maybe moving, quitting a job, transferring to another city, whatever it is, we have movement, right? For some of you, this may be more so about moving on in terms of a new era in your life where you have connections that are more mature, a little bit more on your level. So there are cycles that you have retired, right? You've been able to say, no, I learned that lesson. I'm good on that. I'm ready for the more serious opportunities, right? So we have that's interesting. 8 of Swords in the reverse, 9 of Cups in the reverse. I said that's interesting because we have the 9 of Cups in the upright come out in our intro cards. And then we have the 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands is talking about taking action, and our 2 of Swords in the reverse was also talking about taking action. So we have somebody here that realizes what has been holding them back. The 8 of Swords is in the reverse because you have freed yourself from some sort of limited way of thinking. Maybe you've changed your filter. Maybe you've changed whether or not you use dating apps. Maybe you've changed how you meet people. Maybe you've changed your attitude about meeting people. You have addressed something here. You've taken action, and now you're opening yourself up to, I think, love in particular. And it's almost like there's like a little beacon that gets sent off, and there are other people that are like, oh, really? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, no, I'm interested. Wow, I said like you sent off a little beacon. I feel like this Hermit card is validation of that. There is some sort of sign that you are open for some sort of love connection. And this person, this Hermit, has seen it. They could be a Virgo, don't have to be. Hi there, Drew. Hello, Jeff. How we doing? Yes, definitely time for some good news, don't you think? We have the Chariot. Yeah, more confirmation here that we have somebody that decided to move forward and leave something in the past. The Chariot is, after all, a symbol for a bike, a car, travel, movement, right? Even if it was like a how Stella got her groove back kind of thing, where you got out of town and like cleared your head. There was something here that removed a block for you, and now there are blessings coming into you, or there's an opportunity coming into you, and you've been waiting for this kind of opportunity. So, hi there, Brianna, how are you doing? So I'm excited for you. But this Nine of Cups in the reverse, I feel like helps us understand what you've been moving away from, right? Because the Nine of Cups is what made you take action. I feel like either it's as simple as you understand fully now what you want and what you don't have time for. You have a very clear understanding of what love looks like or what love makes you feel like. So you don't get tempted by the bullshit. We have the Hanged Man, the Six of Cups in the reverse, and the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah. I think you had maybe even a specific type or an attachment type that was causing you issues over multiple relationships. You've been able to leave that kind of thing in the past. Maybe you have kind of closed yourself off to a certain type of person that you used to be pretty attracted to or drawn in by. And now you're just kind of like, meh. Like the biggest thing coming through for me is I'd like to take care of somebody who's really upset but doesn't take care of themselves. And then I decide, you know what? I'm not here to fix people. I'm going to focus on dating people that have figured out their things for themselves and don't need, like guidance on that. They're already hermit looking for that information on their own. With the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, I feel like this is specifically saying you are okay with letting go when things are not yours. Some people cling to toxic relationships or connections that don't really make sense because it's preferable to being alone. I think whoever I'm reading for, you've gotten to the point where you appreciate the solitude over being in a toxic situation or feeling like you're stuck in a relationship. May sound like not a big difference, but it is a big difference. Hi, Tiana. How are you? Sweet what? Sweat puddle? Oh. I wish I hadn't read that one. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Princess of Wands in the reverse. And the Five of Swords in the reverse. Here's the thing. For some of you, you have been influenced by or manipulated by somebody in your life that has a reputation for being a bit of a negative Nancy. So this could be like an overly protective mom. This could be like a brother that poo-poos every relationship. Whatever it is, we have somebody that was maybe a little bit overreaching in terms of what they thought their influence should be, or overly opinionated and skewed towards negative, like everything was bad in their eyes. And I feel like you've gotten to a point where you said, you know what, whoever you are, person who doesn't want me to like see the good in other people, I'm gonna have to just like approach my life on my own and not have it like tainted by your refusal to see anything in a positive light. It's not easy, but sometimes we have to distance ourselves from people who have a tendency to make things sound as bad as they can, right? We have the Lovers in the reverse, the Two of Cups, the Prince of Swords, moving kind of fast on my table too. So I feel like there's somebody here that you have your eyes on, or somebody is interested in you. And either both of you or one of you in particular is pretty determined to not talk about this new love or this love interest because they don't want to deal with everybody's like opinion and the BS, right? I'm just going to see where this goes. I'm really curious to get to know this person. Maybe people even get frustrated with you over the holidays because you disappear and you spend time with this love interest and people don't know what you're doing. There's a little bit of like throwing caution to the wind and really wanting to prioritize this person that's intriguing. We have the Nine of Rings, which is the Nine of Pentacles, King of Wands in the reverse, and the Four of Rings. So we had the Four of Rings or Four of Pentacles up here in the reverse. Now we have it in the upright. So I do feel like there's a sense that somebody has learned how to filter appropriately. So some things you share, some things you don't. If I don't want your opinion on something, I'm not going to tell you about it. Right? So there's a sense of independence coming through because there was too much control exerted over you or your person by this King of Wands in the reverse, which I believe is the same as the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So somebody who's prone to anger, somebody who lashes out a little bit and does have a very strong opinion in terms of how you're supposed to live your life, what choices you're supposed to make, perhaps even something along the lines of, I expect you to put family first. We have a loosening of almost like a sense of responsibility, like somebody feeling like, I don't need to answer your call as soon as you call me. I don't need to tell you what I've been up to. I don't need to ask your permission. It feels like an older, it's like when you turn 18, many Americans will move out of the house, right? They won't be living with their parents anymore. I know it's different like across the world, but when you move out, there's this like newfound sense of independence. I can live how I want. I can eat what I want. I can go to bed when I want, blah, 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 all of that, right? This feels to me like a second round of that. Like somebody has maybe in their late 20s or in their 30s, whatever it is, realized that there was somebody that didn't really have the right to be as influential as they did. Could be a spouse, could be like I said, family, but you distance yourself and you're like, no, that's a thing here though. I'm not okay with you being controlling or emotionally manipulative. I'm ready to make my own decisions. And if you're upset about that, I don't know that I care. There's a reason why I want to live my own life. And I'm letting go of whatever used to hold me back from doing that. All right, let's see. We have the Hermit in the reverse, Three of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. 9 is definitely an important number, all right? We've had a lot of 9s come out, but we also have somebody that is refusing to understand your perspective because it hurts them. Like it's one thing to be a stranger with accountability, like, oh, I don't understand why you're mad at me. I didn't do anything wrong. That kind of like, I was just responding to the situation, like I feel like this is more so about somebody who wants to play a little bit of the victim because they don't want to be called out on what they actually did to create this problem for themselves. They want to, it's like it's like when you call someone out on a lie and then they're like, oh, dang, I just cut myself really bad. I don't have any time to talk about how I'm a bad person. I'm going to have to like focus on this, you know? Let's talk about me and how I'm in pain right now. That's obviously a little bit of an exaggerated situation, but I feel like we have somebody that doesn't really do very well appreciating other people's pain or other people's needs. It's really mostly about them. 7 of Rings or 7 of Pentacles in the reverse, 6 of Cups, and the High Priestess. So I feel like you've gotten to a point, whoever I'm reading for, you've been able to realize that there are people around you that don't really understand what it means to have an equal give and take. They're the kind of person that really just thinks about what you can do for them, and they aren't very generous or supportive towards those like you, even if they've known you for a very long time. So I think you're starting to understand the idea that we all have intentions, we all have goals, and the way we speak and the way we act really do help others understand what those goals are, right? I talk about it all the time, but I feel like this High Priestess, whoever I'm reading for, you've really fully understood that everyone comes from either a place of love or fear. And this person that you've been dealing with comes from a place of fear, and you can't really work with that. Okay. If you're coming from a place of fear, then I don't know that it's worth getting into an argument with you. I don't know that it's worth falling in love with you. I don't know that it's worth talking about religion or politics with you. You know, like, if you come from a place of fear, it's just too easy to get into an argument. It's too easy to fall into some sort of manipulation. I would much rather deal with people that come from a place of love. Right? Okay, this is the Fairy Lenormand. Well, it's my favorite card. Should I say it's our favorite card? For my A1 day ones, you already know what I'm laughing at, right? If you're new to the channel, you're in for a treat. So we have number 11, the Whip. And I'm pretty sure at least Tiana would get mad at me if I didn't do this. Hi there, Peggy. Just in time. I grew up listening to this little thing, or like participating in this little thing with my mom. I don't even remember what movie it's from. But anytime I hear the word whip, this is what goes on in my head. The whip. No, not the whip. The whip. No, not the whip. The whip. No, anything but the whip. Anything? The whip. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. If you don't like that, then, you know, this might not be the right channel for you. And then we have the stork. So the whip stands for punishment, okay? You can probably tell that from how the fairies are acting on that card. But we're talking about somebody, I mean, look at this is literally like what I was just explaining. The idea that you bring your issues to somebody because you want to be respectful and talk them through, and somebody is just sitting here going, la, 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 la. I don't want to hear it. And then we have the stork right underneath the children card. Honestly, this could just be saying you're dealing with somebody who's immature as fuck. Because I can't handle these conversations where people tell me that I do stuff wrong. No. Grow up. All right, this is the signs of the times. Look, if they don't want to listen to other people to grow as a person, the universe will make sure they grow as a person. It's just going to be a little bit more painful. You know? So I feel like that's what this person is signing up for. But that's, I don't know. I kind of want to go like in the other direction. Like this person is like taking over the reading. But we have like new stuff coming out, new fun things in your life. And I want to know what that's about. Number 11 could also be very important for you. It is November, so we can keep that in mind, of course. But we did have 11 come out from the Lenormand and also from this deck. So we have number 33 and number 11. We have stars or divine guidance. And then we have clouds or distractions. Funny, because I was just saying, I feel like this other person is taking over the reading, and I'd really rather know about this new love that's coming in. So don't get distracted by the bullshit, okay? There's going to be people that, there's going to be people that bitch. There's going to be people that you don't have to deal with, okay? You draw the boundaries, right? All right, this is the Tattoo Tarot. Strength, love it. And the Ace of Swords. You are speaking the truth, being very authentic. And I'm going to tell you this right now. There are people that will not like you because of that, all right? Thank you, Tiana. I appreciate you. There are going to be people that think you're an asshole because you call them on their shit, and that's okay. It's worth it. The people who don't like you for being truthful or authentic are the people you probably don't want to hang around anyways, right? Hi there, Miss Joanna. How are you doing? So there's a sense that you really understand who you are. You really understand what you want. You know what you're willing to tolerate. And your strength with regards to all of that is really drawing in a good moment for you, a good opportunity for you. And I feel like this is after you have felt a little bit alone because you did start seeing people for who they truly are. And I got to be honest, there are a lot of people that would like to just straight up avoid any kind of healing or reality check or being a better person, right? But when you decide that you're the kind of person that would like to better yourself, that comes out as the tree of life because you are ascending, you are going to at some point be lonely. You're going to at some point be challenged with learning to love solitude. I think one of the most clear examples of the strength I possess is my ability to have like a great time hanging out by myself. Like not being dependent on that external validation, right? But it does come with a sense of distancing yourself from some of that like middle of the road connection that a lot of people entertain, right? If we don't have the same morals, if we don't have a similar perspective, if we don't have a similar way of showing respect, all of that, then respectfully, I don't want to spend time with you. And I feel like I'm speaking your language. You've already dealt with this, right? You know that the social circle had to shrink a little bit because you started seeing people's true intentions. You started seeing the secrets they were hiding or the manipulations, right? The moon is about secrets coming out, deception. You see people the way they really are now. And it helps, but also at times it can hurt a little bit, right? Like, oh, I thought you were cooler than that. I thought you were like a little bit more legit, I also love that the moon card came out right as the moon was showing up. That's great. We got number 18, child. So we had children, stork, child. I think that was in the reverse. We have gift in the reverse. Community in the reverse. Official person. Community, by the way, is number 39. Official person is number 22. And then we have expectations in the reverse. Yeah, so when you realize that there are people that are immature and a drag, like quite literally a drag, right? But like also holding you back, you set yourself free and move forward into a different kind of life. And I think you're a little bit mystified because good things start to happen. You don't have expectations for somebody of the caliber that you're about to encounter, I'm excited for you. This is somebody that understands where you're coming from, that would respect you when you have conversations about what happened and would seek out a way to change any behavior that was harmful or causing you grief, right? This is a mature individual. All right, let's get a little bit more from the Egyptian tarot. Tell me more about this official person. Four of Pentacles, King of Swords. This is somebody that would likely be described as reserved, not very outgoing, right? You have to kind of like crack the shell and get in there to like figure out who they are. They could be in the legal field or a teacher, disseminator of information of some sort. They are seen as quite intelligent. But with the Five of Swords, I do feel like they've been a bit embattled. They may have gotten caught up in a difficult relationship, a difficult family situation. I think they've had to almost like fight battles on their own, and it's made them a little resistant in terms of letting people in, but I also feel like it means you can relate to them. You might have gone through similar experiences or encountered similar energies. We have the the Knight of Swords in the reverse, the Queen of Cups in the reverse, and the Eight of Cups. I think you both have dealt with and perhaps specifically dated somebody who was pretty big on gaslighting or emotional manipulation, trying to make you feel responsible for fixing things that weren't really your problem because they were immature or impulsive. And so you had to learn how to walk away from that kind of thing, right? They have a really good sense of intuition, but it may not be readily apparent. You might just think they're very observant, but I think they do have a respect for intuition, like spiritual understanding of it. Then we have Four of Swords in the reverse, Nine of Wands in the reverse, and the Four of Cups. This person has spent a lot of time on their own. They might have a little bit of a wall. There's a risk here. There's a risk that because you both have been through a bunch and you are a little bit of a realist, or maybe even a little bit prone to expecting the worst from people, that you really do have to remind yourself to have an open mind and not discredit something too quickly. You know, like, oh my God, I can't believe that you don't have an iPhone. I can't talk to you. You know, like, don't judge this person on something that isn't that important just because you've been dealing with not so great people, you know? There are still good people out there. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all enjoyed the reading. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I will see you on the next reading.